You
Dropping
freestyle?
the rhymes. My words create crimes. Mike is so dirty because he was straight dirty on times. This morning it's crazy. Don't call me lazy. Maybe another day might drive me crazy. Okay, what we got, Mike? I'm warmed up.
We're not your average tennis coaches. We've moved from all around the nation to build a company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin that encompasses our passion. We are Essential Tennis. Ian, Herbie, Megan, and Kevin. Welcome to our ET family. Come join us on our daily tennis adventures.
So the plan is basically the student will be here in 9 minutes. We'll have a little bit of small talk, get to know him a little bit. We'll come down to the court, let him warm up for about half hour, 45 minutes, and we'll just watch him hit. We'll look at some video while he's warming up. And it's from there, it's 100%, we make it up as we go. In the sense that he's told us a little bit about himself, but we don't know for sure what we're working with until we actually see him swing a racket. So from the time he makes his first swing, we are totally on the fly, analyzing, providing coaching, giving guidance, working him through different progressions, figuring out what to change and how to change it. And so all that very much happens in real time. So there's not really a plan per se, besides that we're here, students can be here, he's gonna hit some balls and we're gonna tell him how to get better, is basically the plan. The rest of it just kind of happens organically.
I don't know anyone else in the tennis industry that does a 4 pros to 1 person ratio. We're probably a little on the crazy side, most people would say, but we feel like the more input the student can get, the better it's gonna be. So the VIP experience is really that immersion of 4 coaches, 1 student, where the clinics are more of 2 to 4 students per 1 coach, which is still really low ratios when you're talking the whole tennis world out there. But you get definite, in the VIP Milwaukee experience, you get way more attention focused on just you and not you and the other 2 or 3 people that are on your court with the pro. So it's, you know, you have the notes that are taken just for you. You have 1 person feeding you balls that's just to you. You have 1 person that's off to the side videoing just you, and then you have 1 person that's analyzing. So to have 4 pros all looking at you is a completely, probably insane and crazy experience, but it's an amazing thing, and we all see something a little bit different, so we can all give a little more input than just having 1 pro out there with you.
Well, first of all, we take them through, we usually have a chance to go through forehand, backhand, serve, volleys, and sometimes if we have a little bit more time, we'll go through other things like overhead or a slice backhand. What they get is a complete, I don't want to say makeover, but a complete process to taking whatever they have in their strokes now and making that more efficient. Usually weeding out technical errors, bad habits that they might have, or making it even better. If they're doing something really well, we'll help them go through a process of how can we make that better? How can we get more out of what they're already doing well? So those are kind of 2 big things. The other thing is they just get a process. They see how to make a change. I think a lot of players, when they come here, they don't understand what it takes to change a stroke. They think, oh, I'm just gonna go out and try it. And they'll go out on the ball machine and try to make the change, and the change doesn't happen. So that process in itself is hugely valuable to understand, how do I take my stroke, which is at this point in time, and how do I transfer that and make that into a better stroke? And that process is huge, because that's what they want. How to transform their stroke into the stroke that they want to see on the court.
You know, everybody's always so surprised that we're exactly the same people on the internet as when you walk in the door. So in that respect, it's really cool. And they can, you know, it's basically having a tennis think tank at your disposal. So any of the burning questions that you've ever had your whole life, you get to have them answered, and you get a really solid long-term plan to go off of for your development, which is huge. And you don't get that anywhere.
one thing that separates us from many people out there, and there are a couple people that are starting to do it, but the biggest thing that differentiates us from other online tennis companies is that we use so much video for analysis, and we think it's so important for us as coaches and for the student to learn. We not only have one camera that's watching the whole court at all times, we also have a cameraman that stands off to the side and is focused in on exactly what's going on, as well as us on the side doing iPad for stroke review and really getting in there so that we can every few strokes we stop with the student and go through, like, this is what you're working on, this is what we need to work on, this is you know, what it should be, this is what's happening right now. And that really narrows down and really keeps the focus on one or two topics instead of standing on the other side of the court and not being able, which I did for years and years and years, and not being able to really see what you can when you're standing next to them with video. If I could go back in time, I would change things and use way more video than I did before, and I would use it to really analyze what needs to be done rather than just proving a point that I was saying. And it helps the students so much to be able to visually see the difference between where they started, where they ended, and how they can compare themselves to the pros and how they can get their strokes to look more like the pros. Because we can think that we are doing something a million times over, but when you actually are seeing yourself on video, me included, it can be completely different than what you think you're doing. So it makes a huge difference to do video for the coaching side and for the student side.
The greatest benefit out of the VIP sessions, it's really important that the student receives an action plan. Well, it's not important, they receive an action plan, and it's important that they go through and do the steps in the action plan. And basically the action plan is the exact same steps we do here while they're in Milwaukee, and they get to take that home, and now they have a plan to what they're going to do anytime they go out to the court to practice. So there's no more kind of wondering, what should I work on, how should I work on it? We've already done the work here, and now they have that ability to take that process and take it home and replicate the exact same thing that we do here in Milwaukee.
Thanks for watching our VIP experience. If you want to be a VIP, you just send us an email at support@essentialtennis.com and make sure you subscribe. Thanks for your support.